Welcome back, Shapeshifters. Today's episode is all about energetic cords. We are going to cover what is an energetic cord. We are going to talk about the significance of them, and I'm going to empower you with a energetic cord cutting ritual that you can add to your own spiritual toolbox. So let's get into it. So what exactly is an energetic cord? An energetic cord is an energetic connection. In many ways, it's a contract that you have with an individual, a mindset, or an idea. One of the easiest ways to think about what an energetic cord is when we think about our umbilical cords and the connection that we all had with our mothers and knowing that that cord is connected to our navel. The navel in the chakras represents your sense of personal power. And so it is no coincidence that when we were in the wombs of our mother, we received our personal power, literal personal power, to be able to receive nutrients and food to live and to grow. And even though that cord was cut, we know that that spiritual and cosmic connection with the power of the mother, whether you knew your mother, whether you were adopted, whether you had a great relationship with your mother or a bad relationship or something in between, we know that that energetic connection is still there. And many people are in therapy right now because of some unresolved childhood issue that they had with their mother, right? So we know the power of that cord. But those cords can also be connected to other individuals, again, mindsets or ideas that we also are in deep, intimate relationship with. Just as many of us made spiritual contracts with our parents to say, hey, I'm choosing you to be my parents for this lifetime, for this iteration, in order for me to learn the lessons that are going to support me in my own hero's journey, that are going to support me in moving forward in my power and my purpose. So when we create those contracts with people, mindsets, and idea, we bind ourselves to those things through our personal power, because your power is your sense of agency, is your sense of will. And that dwells within your solar plexus, which is also known as your navel chakra. And so when we talk about on the individual level, when we are in intimate relationship with other people sexually, we are binding ourselves, the cord from our navel, into that individual. When we bind ourselves to certain mindsets of identity, mindsets of I have enough or I don't have enough, or I'm this or I'm that, we bind our personal power into the mindset or the idea that still exists, because it's an energetic force. Even if it's not an individual, it's an energy that we're feeding. We're feeding it through our energy. We're feeding it through our recognition that it even exists in the first place. We're feeding it through our thoughts, even if we don't say them out loud. If we wake up every day and we see ourselves in the mirror, and we go through and nitpick all the different things about ourselves that we don't like, we're feeding into that energy that we're not enough. And so we have created an energetic contract with that. So if anybody else speaks to your not enoughness, it's going to trigger you in a certain way, because you've already developed a deeper relationship with that energy of not enoughness. And so part of our spiritual hygiene practices have to be taking the time, just as we spiritually cleanse our minds, we spiritually cleanse our bodies, we also have to energetically cut cords that no longer serve us. So when we are ending a relationship, when we are ready to change a mindset, an idea about ourselves, we move through the energetic cord cutting. Now, I want to give a shout out to my teacher, Dr. Namanya Soipan, an amazing author, PhD teacher, Chinese doctor who has a phenomenal wellness center in St. Thomas. I had the opportunity to study under her for a number of years. And one of the things that I learned under her was this whole idea of energetic cord cutting, and also the actual ceremony to cut the cord. And at the time, because I was in a study program with her, I was instructed that every person that I had ever had sexual relationships with, the idea was that I needed to go through a cord cutting ceremony with each and every one of them. And as you know, you have many chakras. You have your root chakra and you have your sacral chakra, and energy flows up through those chakras in order to even get to the navel chakra. And so if the navel chakra has numerous cords feeding into ideas, mindsets, and individuals that are not serving us because they are not reciprocal relationships, relationships. They are not value added ideas supporting us in our own personal elevation and upliftment. They are pulling us down in low frequency vibrations, which is not allowing energy to flow up. It's pouring out. And so some of us are just feeling depleted. We are unable to move forward on our ideas, on our ventures, on our goals, because we literally have given all of our energy away. And so we have to constantly be in a space of spiritual hygiene where we can call our energy back to ourselves, back to our wombs. And for those of us born with wombs, it is no coincidence that the seat of your personal power also dwells within your womb. And here we also see the shadow of not addressing our womb in the form of fibroids, in the form of womb trauma. Some of us have suffered from abuse, sexual exploitation. All of that is dwelling within the womb. And so it prevents us from being able to wield our power. Also, after you move from the navel chakra, you go through the heart chakra to the throat chakra to the third eye, all the way up to the crown. So if you have energetic leakage happening from your navel, energy is not able to even flow up. And it is the Kundalini energy flowing up, as the Chinese call Qi, that is going to align your organs. It's going to align your energy, the cells in your body, your breath to move up. That breath is going to oxygenate your body. It's going to oxygenate your blood. It's going to calm down your nervous system. It's going to increase your frequency. It is going to allow you to broadcast what it is that you want in a louder way out into the universe, which is going to allow you to magnetize what you want to come in. So you see, we are living in one complete system, that complete system being your physical body temple and its interdependence and co-creative relationship with the rest of the universe. So that is the significance and the reason why we have to claim these traditions so that we can utilize them for our own spiritual hygiene and growth. And I've stated over and over again, when it comes to the womb, whether we're talking about the womb of the earth and the excavation, exploitation, and the mining of her natural resources, whether we're talking about the wombs of women whose energetic currency is siphoned off to the detriment of feeding ourselves. So let's talk about the actual cord cutting ritual. So the first thing you need to do is you need to decide what you're ready to cut. And again, this doesn't all happen at once. You only can cut one cord for every full moon. So you have to pick one idea, one mindset, one individual, and focus on that for the first month. And if you need to create a plan for yourself for the next 6 full moons or beyond, to really think about what it is you're ready to let go of. If you want to just add this into your spiritual toolbox as like, hey, on full moons, I do a cord cutting ritual, you can do that as well. So decide what is resonant for you. What is that thing that you have given your power away to that you are ready to reclaim it? Is it a person, an idea, a mindset? Is it a practice? Is it a pattern that's holding you back? And identifying that feels most resonant. And that is what you want to spend your time focusing on. You also need to find when the full moon is. I was taught that the full moon power lasts 3 days before and 3 days after the full moon. So you can utilize any day within that window to move forward. I would recommend at night and alone. This is a personal practice. And so you want to set up your own personal altar for your spiritual work. This is not an ancestor altar. So this is not a place where we need to bring ancestors. This is just about you. So your personal altar is where you may have different elements of nature, such as something living, something of the earth, sacred smoke in the form of copal or sage or palo santo or a special incense. Maybe you want to light a white candle or an uncrossing candle, personal totems, spirit animals, statues, rocks, crystals, whatever it is that allows you to feel grounded and supported. And I would create an altar to yourself. So I would recommend finding a quiet time in the evening. I would recommend being seated in lotus position. This is also something that you can do lying flat on your back if that feels comfortable for you. It's not something that needs to take a long time, and it's not a place where you need to go out and buy buy a bunch of stuff. Less is more, but it's really about your intentionality that you're creating, that you've carved out time for your calendar, that you're not rushing, that your space is clean, it's physically, spiritually, and you are in a place to set the table, if you will, for this spiritual work. I'd also recommend playing some light music, music that feels aligned with you. Maybe it's the music of water, maybe it's an element of another element of nature, or maybe it's healing bowls, whatever you feel that is going to support you. But you definitely want to have high frequency music. Maybe it's binaural beats, high frequency tunes and sounds that are going to support you in being able to tap in. And so when you find yourself with the table set for your own spiritual work, focusing on the power of your breath, I would recommend starting with the 4-4-4, 4 breaths in, 4 breaths hold, and 4 breaths release. Inhaling through your nose and out of your mouth. Do that for maybe 3 or 4 rounds just to set the stage. Again, you're reprogramming your body. You're letting your body know you're safe, secure, and you're entering into a moment of sacred space. You then can return to your regular breathing. And for some of you, it might be better to do this more as a meditation. For some of you, you might want to pray out loud and talk out loud, whatever works for you. But you want to bring yourself into a place of awareness to understand that you are bringing up what you are ready to cut. What you want to start conjuring up that feeling. You want to feel the feels. If it's a person, you want to feel that person in the room with you. You want to be able to literally look at them and see all of their facial features. Or maybe you are reflecting back to a certain time or moment or incident that happened. Or maybe you're just really focusing on their facial features. Whatever it is, bring that energy into the room. Make it visceral. Allow yourself to really feel it. If it's a mindset, same thing. You want to really feel it. Bring yourself back to a moment where this issue really came up for you and really allow it to fill your energetic field. Again, if you want to talk out loud and you want to talk to that energy, talk to that person, you're more than welcome to do so. And as you continue to increase the energetic presence of what you're ready to release, I want you to then visualize the cord that is connected from your navel chakra and visualize that cord extending far out into outer space. So you're going through the ceiling, through the room, beyond the city that you're in, beyond the state, up into the cosmos. Feel that cord expanding all the way up into space. And at the end of that cord in space is what you're ready to release. And that cord is connected to that individual, that person. If it's a person, you can connect it to their navel chakra. If it's an idea, you just make sure that visually you're connecting your cord to that idea or mindset. And you just feel into that and feel the relationship that you have created. Feel where you're giving your power away. Feel the energetic exchange that's coming out of you into that person. And then when you are ready and that feeling is building up inside of you, I want you to think about, what is that sharp object that I'm ready to use to cut this cord? For some of you, it might be a little knife or maybe a butcher knife. It might be a pair of scissors. Maybe it's a razor blade, machete, sword, whatever that object is that comes up. I want you to visualize yourself holding on to that object, visualizing that cord that is extending from you all the way out into space, what it is connected to. And I want you to give yourself the count of 3. And on the count of 3, but listen to the whole thing before you do it. On the count of 3, I want you to chop that cord with all of your might. Even better if you can do it on an exhale. Big inhale in and cut it. And when you cut it, here's the key. You're cutting it as your cord is connected to them. You're not cutting the cord from your navel. You're cutting the other end of the cord that is connected to what you are ready to release. And this is very important because you don't want to cut your own energetic cord. You want to cut the connection of that cord to what it is that you're ready to release. So you've inhaled, you've exhaled, you've chopped it. And I want you to visualize that cord coming all the way down from the cosmos, all the way down to the planet Earth, back to the state, back to the city, back to the structure, back through your ceiling, back into the room, back all the way back into your navel. And I want you to feel the power of reclaiming it. Feel your energetic field getting bigger. Feel the release of what you let go. Feel it coming back into your physical body, and wish whatever you released, wish them well. They're gone. They're done. No more. And the beauty of this is that you've reclaimed your power, and feel into that reclamation and restoration of yourself, and allow that to close out your meditation. Sit with that, breathe in and out of that until you find yourself ready to come back into consciousness, into the actual physical space that you are in. I would recommend holding your navel, thanking it, blessing that chakra of your body for what it has provided, and the reclamation of your energy back to yourself. And here's a couple of tips that I've learned. So typically there is sometimes a bit of a boomerang effect where after you've done it, that person, if it's an individual, might call you, that mindset might pop up, that idea might pop up. Like, it doesn't go away just because you've cut the cord. So expect that and allow that to be a test from the universe for you to show the universe, yeah, I cut it. They called me. So what? I'm not answering. I'm blocking. I hear the thought, okay, I've released it. So you're going to still have to be in that practice. The other tip is, particularly when you're working with individuals, and particularly if you're on breakups or ex-partners that you really are ready to let go of, you cannot go back to these people. You cannot be in the same level of intimate relationship. And for some of them, you cannot be back in any sort of relationship. You're going to have to use your own discernment and Ori to know which is which. But it's not like, oh, I cut the cord, but we're still no, you cannot do that. It can be spiritually harmful to you, meaning that it can be more of an energetic drain and a depletion. And it's harder to build that energy back up to get back to a state of homeostasis, because you're sending mixed messages to the universe. Don't cut what you're not ready to cut. That's why you're prioritizing your cord cutting list. You're doing the things that you're ready to do. But if it's something that you're not ready to let go of, you have to have a level of honesty with yourself. And I definitely would say, again, don't limit it just to individuals. There's a lot of ideas that we need to divest and cut off from. And so let this be another tool that you can use to claim your own energetic sovereignty. All right. Hope you enjoyed this today, Shapeshifters. That's it for today. Until next time, keep shifting. Bye. Thank you for tuning in today, Shapeshifters. Your presence means the world to me, and I deeply appreciate you being here. If something resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment and spread the love by sharing with others. Until next time, keep shifting.